AI is growing like crazy. It seems like just in the last 6 months, we started to use tools like ChatGPT and then moving over into Claude. And now there's these things called Claude Code where we can actually start to build things and automations and agents that work for us. One of the ways that you're able to do this is by creating agent skills, or specifically Claude Skills. And in this video, I'm going to teach you not only what a Claude Code skill is, but how you can start developing skills right now. Now, the reason I want to teach you this is one, not only will it make you more efficient as you're working and building out projects, but two, and I think more importantly, is I have a huge belief as you start using tools like Claude and building out skills that it will give you the time that you want and deserve so that you can go focus on the things that are important, like family, like your hobbies, and like the things that you enjoy in life. So with all that said, let's dive right in. All right, so first we need to understand what a Claude skill is. And if we can see right here, it is a reusable instruction set. Meaning, in the past, we used to do things like prompt engineering, where you had to go write out a prompt and you might copy that prompt and go paste it in a doc. And when you wanted to go perform that thing again, then you would go paste that prompt in. Then we were able to evolve just a little bit where we started to create custom GPTs, where you'd go create a prompt that was already saved, and then you just had to start a chat and it would go use that prompt. Well, skill is like that, but 10x. Not only are you able to go reuse a prompt over and over and over again, but you're able to go give it instructions like, hey, I need you to go look at this service or go look at this connector. Then I need you to go look at this task. And then I need you to use this prompt to bring this outcome. So it's like the ultimate skill to be able to bring your agent or Claude to life. And what it does is it teaches Claude how to do the task. Then it has the prompts like I was saying. And then the best part is you can trigger it automatically. But now that you know what a Claude Code skill is, what are some really good use cases for a Claude Code skill? Well, anytime that you have a task that you are doing more than once in a week, so anytime you're doing a task 2 or more times, a Claude skill could be used. Also, if you have any kind of step-by-step instruction in which you could give over to an AI agent, a Claude skill would be an awesome use case. If you have any kind of detailed, minute, or specific thing that you need done and need to make sure it's done the same every single time, a skill would be good for that. And then obviously, if you have anything that's tested, like a system or a process, this would be good. I would say if you're going to jump right into Claude Code, it's super important to know and to understand that building out skills is really just building out SOPs to give over to an AI. And so some specific use cases that you could go do even after this video is do things like create documents. So you could create a skill that says, hey, I need you to go pull this information from this spreadsheet to then go create this document and give that into a report to be able to send over to my client. Or you can go create workflows. Hey, at 5 a.m. every single morning, I need you to go look at my Gmail and go look at my calendar and then come back to me and tell me what's on my agenda for today. Or you can do what I did for this video, which is generate visuals. That's right. Every photo you've seen so far was a Claude skill where I just said, hey, I need an infographic for this. And the infographics you're seeing right now was built with a skill. And I'll jump into that in a second. And to better learn how to do this, we are going to follow what I like to call the SALT framework. In order to build out a Claude skill, you want to do something that is specific, you want to do something that is actionable, you want to do something that is layered, and you want to do something that is tested. And the nice part is as you're building out a skill, Claude Code is going to help you with all of this. So let me go show you a skill that I just built so that you can understand some context, and then let's dive in and help you build your very first skill. All right, so we have jumped in my Claude desktop, and I'm going to go over how to download that here in just a second, but I just want to show you what this looks like and kind of how it all works. That way you guys can know how to do this as well. So what I did here is I opened up what's called a skill creator, and don't worry, I'm going to talk about that too. And all I did is say, please help me create a skill where I can create infographics that don't look so AI generated. I'm thinking like a whiteboard infographic, and I specifically want to be able to create informational content like step-by-step guides so that I can give my followers and it will help them learn. And then as I gave it that prompt, what it did is it actually went out and created a to-do list of all of the things that needed to do to create that prompt. Part of that was going and writing the instructions. So I said I wanted to do landscape, I wanted to use Nano Banana, and then I wanted to do simple layouts with 3 to 5 steps. Now, the really awesome part about this is Claude was smart enough to ask me those questions to go build out the skill. And then what it did is it went and created what's called a skill MD file. A skill MD file is like the prompts and the instructions that I was talking about, where it goes through and writes an entire SOP document for Claude that it knows to follow every single time. So you can see here, it gives it an idea of what the actual skill is. It gives a step-by-step process on how to build it. It even gives the prompts that it needs to use in order to build it right. It gives some template variables. It has a writing style. It has the generation tool that we have connected to be able to connect to Nano Banana Pro. And then it goes in through some iterations and just some checks to make sure that everything went well. So it wrote that whole skill MD file, and then later down here, it actually gave me some examples to go look at, to go review, to make sure that it did a good job. Then I gave it some feedback, and once it was all done, it saved this nice and tidy so that I could go refer to it later. It is tools like this that we're going to be able to build, and you're going to be able to learn right now, today, so that you can start building and working with these workflows so that you can start working with them in the future. Now, I'll just show you real quick how I activate this. Is I just come over into Cowork again, and all I have to do is backslash, and then it's going to pull open all of my skills, and the whiteboard infographic is right there. So I could literally just say, hey, please build me a simple infographic on the 3 things I wish I knew before I started building out a Claude skill. And then I could just go right here and I could do let's go. Now we'll go review this later, but this is how easy it is once you've set up the skill to be able to go actually create things, because all of your instructions are already in place. And we'll see here at the end of the video that it will go build this infographic for us. But enough showing off, let's actually go show you how you can go do this for yourself. Well, the very first thing you're going to need to go do is you're going to need to go to Claude AI, or specifically go look up Claude Desktop. And that's because we want to go create a desktop app to be able to go build out these skills and to actually use them. And you're going to see right here, just the second option down, if you go download Claude, you're going to notice there's Mac OS, Windows, and Windows ARM 64. Now, I will warn you, in order to do this, you probably are going to want to sign up at least for the $20 plan. That's because Claude is so powerful and it's going to use coding agents. And so because of that, you're going to need to at least have Pro. Now, you can try it for free, but you're likely going to run out of limits. And then with Pro, you'll be able to get things started and use it for basic use. But I have noticed for myself, once I've really started getting in and using this a lot, then the Max plan was wonderful for me. So you'll go ahead and download Claude just like that. And once you do, it's going to open up a desktop app that looks something like this. Now you're going to notice at the very top, we have 3 options. We have chat, we have cowork, and we have code. Specifically for setting up a skill, we are going to work inside of Cowork. Now, if we go over to the framework, the SALT framework to check out here on how to actually build out a specific skill, we need to go and give it what it is that we are trying to do. So let's come up with and brainstorm a skill that we can create. But before we do so, one thing that you are going to want to do is you're going to want to click on this tool right here and then go over into projects and then do create a new project and then start from scratch. And we can just name this a new skill. Let's see the skill that we want to build. Let's do a SEO blog writer. And then we're just going to go create. And then let's go over to our SALT framework here. So we know that it needs to be specific and actionable with layered and tested. Okay, so we're going to just come over here and we're going to do backslash. And as soon as you do, you're going to notice this skill creator option here. So now I can say, I would like to build a skill that will help me write articles that are SEO optimized for a local service business. Basically, I'm wanting to give you a topic. Then I want you to be able to research that topic. And then I will also let you know the city and the industry in which we're writing this article for. That way you can go pull up like local language. You can go pull up specific landmarks in that area, or maybe go give insights on that service or product in that certain area. That way we can create a really valuable article or blog about a certain topic that is locally optimized, not only for SEO, but also with content that the people in that area would understand and could even relate to. And that's basically it. So we've gotten really specific here. We've given it a task where we need it to research. We need it to go build out the article. We need to make sure that it's SEO optimized. And you can see here, we've already moved on to actionable. do the research, then go write out the blogs. And now we're going to move on to the L&T, but let's go send this through before we do. And what's going to happen here is it's going to go try to figure out what it is that you're wanting specifically. And here in a second, I would imagine it's going to ask us some follow-up questions to make sure that it understands what we want, but that also that it's building it out in a way that is going to be the most efficient for us. So you can see right here, great idea. A locally optimized SEO article writer could be really powerful. Before I start drafting the skill, let me ask a few questions to make sure I nail it. You can see right here, how do you want us to deliver the article? Well, if we could do a doc, that would be awesome. How long should the articles typically be? I would say 800 to 1200 words is great. And then should the skill also generate SEO metadata along with the article? Yes, the full SEO package. Do you want to include a specific call to action style for the service business? Let's do subtle call to actions only. So you can see right there, it even thought about questions that we may not have thought about ourselves so that it can come over and to help us. And so now what it's going to do is it's going to create a to-do list right on the side here. And you can see it's going to go draft out the skill MD. It's going to go create the test prompts. It's then going to go create an evaluation tool that it will look through itself and then also give us. Then it's going to ask us for feedback. Then it's going to optimize based off of our feedback. And then it's going to package it all together in one skill. So we're going to just let this cook for just a second and we'll come right back when it's time for the next step. Awesome. So it looks like it finished building out the skill for us. So let's just go see what it did here. So it looks like it went and built out some example blog posts for a Dallas roofing company, for Minneapolis HVAC, and for Charleston plumbing. And these are the simple prompts that it tested for itself. And then it looks like what it did then is it went and did 6 total. So 3 with the skill and 3 without the skill. And then down here, it says all the tests are complete. Here's what I have found. The local references, so the skill makes a difference in a big way. So local references, skill versions averaged 8 specific local references per article, neighborhoods, climate data, home styles, landmarks, versus only 2 generic city mentions without the skill. And then every skill version included a complete meta-dial package, including meta description, URL slug, header plan, keywords, internal linking suggestions. None of the baseline versions did include this. So if you were to use Claude by itself, it would have been pretty generic. If you use the skill, then it would be good. So now what we can do is it looks like it actually built us out a SEO writer evaluation tool. So we can come in here and we can go to allow. Then let's just pull this over here into our desktop. And so not only did it build us the skill, but it gave us the things, the articles with the skill and then without the skill. So right here, you can see here's the article that it wrote and here's all the research that it did. So water stains in lakes are a big deal in this area. Granite loss or granule loss, sagging roof, moss, algae, mold growth. So this must be somewhere in the south here. Yep, Texas. Okay. And then it actually writes the article. So let's see here. So here's the outline. So it writes the outline first, which is a very powerful thing to do. And then here's the quality check. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see. Oh, here's the document here. So this is just all of the research that it did. And then it even came out and wrote all the headings. And then here's the actual article. So let's go see what the article actually looks like. Signs you need to need a new roof, Dallas. So let's go and open this up and see what it looks like. Okay, so here is the new article. Let's just go read through it and see how it actually did. Every spring, North Texas homeowners know what's coming. Severe thunderstorms, powerful winds, and dreaded hail. When those first hailstorms rattle your roof in March or April, most of us just hope for the best. But here's what many Dallas residents don't realize. Wow, this is great. And it even gives some suggestions on shingles and different shingles you can put on the roof. Here's, let's see what this is. It looks like some kind of steps. 8 critical signs you need a new roof. So it even breaks it down into how you know you need a new roof. Repair or replace. So it breaks it down. Do you need to repair to replace it? And then there is the signs you need a new roof, hail-proof your home. Here is the meta description. Here's the suggested URL slug. So it basically went through and did everything. Now that it's done, we can just go back into Claude Code here and just tell it that it did an amazing job and that we want to save the skill. So, hey, this all looks amazing. Let's save the skill. And then right here, you can see it was just waiting for the human feedback. So then it's going to basically see that we're happy with the skill. And then we could go, then it will go package it all up and save the skill for us. Now, the nice part here is if we go over to our framework once again with the layered and tested, this is where you can go add your taste. So you could say, hey, I want you to ask me 3 questions about what you need to know from my personal experience about this article so that we can go write it personal to my experience. Or I need you to go reference this website. This is our website, and I need that website to be included inside of the article. Or go please look at trusted sources so that we could add information, statistics, data on what we're trying to write about so that it can be more credible. The option is yours, and that's the beautiful thing about using Claude Code and Claude Skills, is because you can really go build it to your liking and make sure that it does what you want it to do. And once the skill is done, just like you saw earlier as we go back here into Claude, so you can see right there, local SEO writer is done, so we can save it just like that. But once it's all done and good to go, then all you have to do is do that / button, and you're going to see right there, local SEO writer. So you only have to mention it, then give it the details that you know you need to give it, and then the skill is done. And then let's go over, just like I promised, I said we could go test my whiteboard skill as we are live. I didn't touch this at all. I just let it sit in the background as I was doing this tutorial. But we can go look at my whiteboard infographic here by just opening up this link. Then we can open this large, and there is the infographic. The prompt is the product. Start tiny, grow later, test with real tasks. So there we go. We were able to build a new whiteboard thing because of the skill that we actually have. So guys, I hope this tutorial was super helpful for you to realize the power of skills, and you can go build as many skills as you want to. And what I would really encourage you to do after this video is to go think about the simple processes that you're doing from day to day or more than a couple of times a week, and go test it with Claude to see what you can actually build. Now, one last thing that I want to just show you before we end the video today is a huge plus to using Claude as well, is if you come into settings down here, go over into settings, and then you come down here into extensions and then browse extensions. You can go connect to all of these things, and you can include these and mention these in your skills. You can also come over here too, over into connectors, and here are all of the connectors that Claude has. So you could do things like connect your Wix site. You can connect Kiwi. You can connect SimilarWeb, which is like an SEO data tool. You can go connect, let's see, Base44 and build apps. You can connect Calendly to go check appointments. So not only do your skills have to just be something that you design in your head, but you can say, hey, I want you to go look at my email, see if anybody's asked me to do something, then go send that over into Notion to create a task, and then let me know what tasks I need to do. So the options are limitless, and this is why this is so powerful. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know how this works for you in the comments below and any questions that you may have, and we'll see you in the next video.